Hello and welcome back, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the border to the springtime summer blanket, no, springtime flower blanket. So yeah, we're going to be looking at the border that's going to be going around the outside of that. So my project has been quite a scrappy project, so I'm using stash yarn that I've got. I'm using a mixture of like 3 or 4 different colour greens, and I'm going to be working that all into my border. You can of course carry on doing the same colour green that you've used throughout your project. So for this, which is kind of filet inspired, yes it is technically, there's no technically behind it, it is filet inspired, which I really seem to have gotten into lately. So to do this border, you can work this as you're working directly into the blanket. I didn't really want to do that. I felt like that was going to be too fiddly for me. So I'm going to sew this into the blanket, but if you don't want to sew in the blanket, or you don't like sewing into the blanket, you can work this directly into the blanket and crochet as you go and join as you go. But for this example, I'm going to show you as it is. So I've got a slip knot on my hook, and I'm going to be chaining 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then I need a +3 for my turning chain, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So that's given me my turning chain, which is going to count as a stitch, and my 2nd stitch. And then I'm just going to do a double crochet in each chain all the way down to the bottom. Last stitch, and there we go. So that is our first row. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to start our filet crochet pattern. So we're going to chain 3, which is going to count as a stitch, and then we're going to do a double crochet in each stitch across up to the 2nd to last stitch. Now this is the 2nd to last stitch, and then this is our chain 3. So we're going to stop before we get to there, so we're going to stop in this one here. Okay, I hope I explained that well enough. So we're going to do a double crochet in each of these stitches across. And we've got one more stitch to do, and then what we're going to do next is we're going to chain 1, and I tend to do quite a loose chain, and I will show you why in a second. Miss this stitch and then do a double crochet into the chain 3. Now as you can see, we've got a big gap, which is perfect. We're going to chain 3 and turn our work, and now we're going to work back along here, but we're going to start our pattern. We're going to work into this chain 1 space, and that's why I left it quite loose. You can either work directly into your chain space, or you can work into the chain. For this, I have actually been working directly into the chain, so I'm going to continue doing that. So I'm going to work into that chain space, or the chain stitch. I'm going to chain 1 again, leave it a little bit loose. I'm going to miss this one, and then I'm going to work directly into this stitch, and again doing a double crochet. And now I'm just going to do double crochets going all the way across. So that's my last double crochet into a stitch, and then double crochet into my chain space and then chain 3. So I've made it all the way across, and now I'm going to start my next row, which is going to be pretty much exactly the same. We're just going to be missing this stitch here. So I'm going to start double crocheting all the way across. Start by doing double crochets. And then we're going to stop. We're going to do a chain 1, which comes over this stitch. We're going to do a double crochet into our chain stitch. Going to do another double crochet into the next stitch and a double crochet into our chain 3. I'm going to chain 3 and I'm going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. I'm going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, a double crochet in our chain or our chain space. I'm going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and then do double crochet all the way to the end of the row. So now you should be able to see we have a pattern coming up just here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on doing this. I'm going to skip this stitch and do a chain and then cut. So I'm going to do chain 3, double crochet all the way across, skipping this stitch, chaining 1, skipping this stitch, and then doing a double crochet into our chain 1 space. And I'm just going to continue doing that for a few more rows, and then I will come back to show what we're going to be doing next. So I just wanted to come back because we're on what our last row before we change the pattern up a bit. So I just wanted to show you this. So this is how we're going so far. We've got this row of gaps going up this way, and I've turned and I've chained 3, and we want to skip this stitch now. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1. So that's going to be a chain 3 for the stitch, and then a chain 1 for the miss one, and then we're going to do a double crochet into that stitch as per, and then I'm just going to do this all the way along again. So there we go. Can't really tell it at the moment because it looks to be a bit of a, it doesn't really, it hasn't got much structure to it at the moment, but we will adjust that as we work into our next row. Now to do our next row, what we're actually going to be doing, so we can't go any further this way because we don't have any more stitches. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this direction. So we're now going to start having our holes going in this direction. So I'm going to start by chaining 3, and I'm going to do double crochet all the way across to our second to last, I think it would be our second to last stitch, the stitch before the gap basically. We're not going to work the stitch before the gap. So we've got to the stitch before the gap, we're going to stop, we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the stitch, and then we're going to work into the chain or the chain space depending on how you're doing it, into there, and then we need to do a stitch in the chain 3, the top of the chain 3. Try to make sure it's in the actual chain 3, make sure it's in a different stitch if you are chaining, because it just makes it look that little bit like it's meant to be rather than an increase. That makes sense? You don't want two coming out the same stitch. If you worked into the chain space, it might be fine. Now, as you can see, we've now started coming back. So now our next stitch is going to be here. And it's exactly the same thing. We're going to start off with 2 double crochets, 1 in the first space, 1 in the chain space, skip 1, chain 1 and then skip 1, and then we're just going to work all the way along. There you go. Now you can see that structure's like really sorted itself out now. You can see it's a straight edge, it's not curving around, and we've got the beginnings of the pattern coming through this way. So what I'm actually going to do, my back is killing me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on doing this off camera, and then I'll come back and show what it looks like. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to just do 1 more or 2 more rows with you here, just so you can see how the final pattern will look. So I'm just going to do some more double crochets. Chain 1, miss 1, and a double crochet, chain 3 and turn. Now, as you can see, this is the pattern, so you end up with a diamond running through the pattern there. I think I can zoom out any more than I actually am, so there you go, there's the diamond running through, and it's a repeat of that all the way along. So I will get out another one that I have already made. So there's the bottom, and as you can see, the repeat is just working all the way up like so. And what I'm going to do, mine's going to be slightly different. If you've got lots of yarn left over, then you won't have to worry about this. But I just want to pick that up. Because of the way I'm working this with my stash, for the past few years I've been doing a working from stash situation. So as many projects as I can do during the year, I'm working off my stash. However, that being said, that there are occasions when something like this comes up and I do not have enough of each of these colours to border all of that blanket in, having this all the way on one side, having this colour all across the other side. I'm going to have to mix it up a bit, sew them together, and then I will show you the finished item. I'll see you soon. Well, I'm back. So it's been a few days and I have finished the border and I've attached the border. So I'm just going to go through a couple of things that I might change if I was to do this again. I'm not best pleased with this join here, so what I might have done if I had planned this, I would have joined the yarn naturally rather than seaming it together at that point there. I did join the yarn naturally somewhere else, yeah, just here. So I did do it here, but when I came around to this section, it was getting quite. There was a lot of yarn chicken going on at this point, so I now have no green yarn. Well, that's not true. I have bottle green and a bit of grassy green, so quite primary colours, where these are quite subtle green colours. So yeah, blanket is now finished. I will, as it is quite big, but it's not huge. It's basically what I wanted it to be. It's a lap blanket, so I can sit at my desk and have it on my lap, and it won't get trapped under the wheels of my chair. So there it is at its full width, and if I can show you the bottom, there you go, there's the bottom as well. So it's not massive, it's not huge. If you want it bigger, you just do more squares. But for me, and for literally just on top of my lap while I'm sat here working, and it doesn't get trapped under the wheels, is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. So the blanket is now finished. So yeah, that's it. The blanket is done. So I don't know what the next project's going to be. I haven't quite decided on that yet. But in the meanwhile, thanks ever so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy your blanket, and you can check out all of the other videos. So up here will be a playlist of all of the squares, and then down here will be another playlist. I'm not sure what it will be just yet. I have not decided. But in the meanwhile, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.